Throughout the CenterPoint program, there are right-click options available that'll bring up functions for that particular field that you're in. Let's look at some of those. If we bring up a setup list, let's go to Setup and Vendors. We can, before we select any vendor, we could right-click and we can add, remove columns here if we want to display different columns of information. We can always activate, deactivate items on a list from a right-click menu. We can sort columns, so if we wanted to sort the list by more than one item, you can go to Sort Columns. If we highlighted a particular name and right-click, then the View Transaction History becomes alive and it would view the last transactions that were done for the name that's selected. Several different options here that are available on just all of the different setup lists. If we go to your entry screen, like a payment screen, there are always right-click options there also. Popular ones in the company and bank account, if you typically enter your transactions to one company and one bank account combination, you might want to select that company, right-click and set it as default. For both of these, what that will do is create less keystroke entries because it'll just remember that on your next transactions rather than the tab stopping there for you to fill in. If we go to the vendor screen, the vendor field, and right-click, we can add a new one. If we come across a new vendor that we're doing business with, we just click New, and that would bring up a new entry screen for adding the name. We can also, from the screen, go to Review Transactions again, just like from the setup list. If I go to a name, and we'll select this one and right-click in there, go to Review Transactions, and again, we got that list of transactions that were done to that particular name. We could edit these from here. If you double-click on the entry, we could go into that transaction and actually edit this transaction or delete one if we found a duplicate. Close out of here. Any of these fields that are a list are going to have that kind of right-click of being able to add a new one. In the case of the account, we get an option of New Account or New Fixed Asset Item. So if you were purchasing a new piece of equipment that were in the assets as a fixed asset, you would pick New Fixed Asset Item. And you can also change your options on your lookup rules that you want for this particular field from the options. The Show All Items will always toggle between showing only active items for that particular list or all items. Another right-click option in your transaction entry screens is to change the columns that are available or the order of the columns that are in the entry screen. If I right-click here, I can go to Add Remove Columns, and this is where I can uncheck any fields that I don't want displayed and perhaps scroll down to the ones that currently are not checked and add them to our list. The up and down arrows can order the list how you want them, and it will remember that the next time you come into the entry screen of how you've customized your entry screen. All of the different right-click options are available in each of the individual entry screens, and each entry screen can have its own settings. So be sure and make those changes to make your entries as quickly as possible.